The sudden death of a police officer leaves his wife and his police dog Rex heartbroken. But then something miraculous happens at his funeral. Keep watching to find out what Daniel Granger was, the young and dedicated police officer known for his bravery and compassion. He shared a unique bond with his canine partner, Rex, a German Shepherd with whom he had worked for several years. Their partnership was a formidable force in their community, respected and admired by colleagues and citizens alike. During a routine patrol, Daniel and Rex responded to a call that would change their lives forever. They were dispatched to a reported disturbance, unaware that they were stepping into a situation that would test their limits. Upon arrival, they found themselves in a tense standoff with a heavily armed suspect. As negotiations faltered, the situation escalated, leading into a hot trench in confrontation. Despite their best efforts, Daniel sustained a fatal injury, leaving Rex by his fallen partner's side. Confused and distressed days turned into a blur for Rex, who couldn't understand why his beloved partner wasn't by his side. He missed their daily routines, the shared glances, and the unspoken language they had developed over the years. The absence of Daniel's familiar presence left a void in Rex's life, making each day feel empty and meaningless. One evening, as the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the room, Rex lay listlessly on his dog bed, staring blankly ahead. The usual spark in his eyes had dimmed, replaced by a deep sadness. Suddenly, an idea struck Amanda, Daniel's wife. As she looked at the dejected canine, she decided to bring Daniel's jacket, hoping it might provide some comfort to Rex and evoke positive memories with a mix of tenderness and anticipation. She entered the room where Rex lay waiting. As she approached, Rex lifted his head slowly. His eyes, meeting Amanda's, a flicker of recognition crossed his face as he struggled to raise his tail, giving a weak thump against the bed. Amanda knelt down beside him, placing Daniel's jacket on the ground before him for a moment. Rex remained, still taking in the familiar scent that seemed to waft from the fabric. Then, as if awakened from a dream, he jumped up and began to sniff the jacket, his tail now wagging tentatively. The sight of Rex reacting to the jacket filled Amanda with a mixture of emotions: happiness that he recognized Daniel's scent, but also a deep ache in her heart, knowing that it was only a fragment of the companionship he once had with her husband. As Rex explored the jacket, his ears perked up and he let out a soft bark, as if greeting an old friend. In that instant, Amanda saw a spark of life return to Rex's eyes, a glimmer of the playful energy that had been missing. It was a small but significant step, a sign that Rex was beginning to emerge from his grief-stricken slumber. News of Daniel's passing spread through the community, leaving everyone in shock and disbelief. On the day of his funeral, a heavy atmosphere of sorrow hung over the town. Friends, family, and fellow officers gathered to pay their final respects to the brave young man who had given his life in the line of duty. The sight of Rex accompanying the casket on a leash, his head held high, with a stoic expression, tugged at the heartstrings of everyone. The bond between a police officer and his canine partner is a unique one, forged in the fires of countless shared experiences, dangers faced and lives touched, and Daniel and Rex were no exception. As the funeral commenced, a sea of black-clad mourners stood solemnly, their faces etched with grief. The eulogies painted a picture of Daniel's heroism, dedication, and the infectious joy he brought to everyone he met. Through tearful stories of his bravery and kindness, it became evident that Daniel's absence would leave an indelible mark on the community he had sworn to protect. Midway through the ceremony, there was a sudden commotion outside the chapel. Rex, who had been lying quietly beside the casket, let out a sharp bark. His ears perked up and he began to pace restlessly. At first his movements were subtle, almost imperceptible, but they quickly became more pronounced, catching the attention of those assembled. His anxious pacing and distressed whimpers seemed to echo the sorrow in the hearts of the mourners. His keen senses, finely tuned during his years of service, had detected something amiss, something that transcended the palpable grief within the chapel. The mourners watched with a mix of confusion and concern as Rex's agitation grew, his barks becoming more urgent and his attempts to push past the doors insistent. Some whispered theories, wondering if there was a threat outside or if Rex had simply become overwhelmed by the intensity of the emotions surrounding him. Little did they know that Rex's instincts had led him to a discovery that would touch every heart present. Driven by worry for both Rex and the attendees, Officer Bryant, Daniel's closest colleague, stepped forward. He knew Rex's temperament well, and the dog's behavior was clearly out of the ordinary. Despite the solemnity of the moment, Bryant couldn't ignore the dog's distress. He cautiously approached the door, trying to calm Rex with soothing words. As he did, his eyes met Amanda's. They share a look of concern, each trying to decipher what was causing this disruption in the midst of their grief. With a gentle touch on Rex's back, Bryant managed to guide the dog back from the door. However, Rex, as you've overcome by a sudden surge of energy, broke free from Bryant's hold and dashed toward the doors, barking incessantly. Unable to contain him any longer, Bryant followed, opening the doors to reveal the source of Rex's distress. To their astonishment, there, nestled beside the casket, was a tiny, wriggling puppy. The sight of the puppy lying so close to the casket was a shock. Its soft whimpers, adding an unexpected note to the somber atmosphere. The mourners gathered around, their expressions shifting from confusion to wonder as they tried to piece together how the puppy had gotten there amidst the sea of faces. Amanda gasped. She recognized the puppy and recalled, in a late-night cuddle session with Daniel, when they had discussed the possibility of starting a family. The pieces of the puzzle clicked into place as she remembered Daniel's words, his hopes and dreams for a future that they had planned to build together. With careful hands, she lifted the puppy, cradling it close. As she did, she noticed a small note tucked beside the puppy, unfolding it. She read Daniel's familiar handwriting. In the note, he spoke of his deep love for Rex and how he wanted them to take care of the puppy. If anything happened to him, it was a premonition, a final act of love and responsibility from Daniel, ensuring that his legacy would live on in both the loyal canine, the tiny puppy. The gravity of the moment settled upon the mourners as they realized that Daniel had anticipated this outcome, arranging for Rex and the puppy to be united in such a touching manner. It was a testament to the depth of his love for both of them, and a poignant reminder of the bonds that transcend even death. As the realization of Daniel's foresight washed over the crowd, there was a shift in the poignant reminder. Atmosphere grief was still present, but now it was laced with gratitude for the opportunity to honor Daniel's spinal wishes and admiration for the courage he had shown in facing his mortality. The unexpected appearance of the puppy had not only added a layer of complexity to the funeral, but also a profound sense of hope. It symbolized new beginnings and the continuation of life, reminding everyone that even in the face of loss, love, and legacy endure. As the funeral concluded, the decision was made to allow Amanda to keep the puppy, seeing it as a living tribute to Daniel and a source of comfort for Rex. With the puppy now in Amanda's care, there was a sense of closure. Everyone understood that Daniel, in his own way, had ensured that his canine partner and the child he had dreamed of would be connected in a way that unawed his memory and celebrated the enduring power of love. In the days following the funeral of Manta, along with Officer Bryant and other colleagues, began the process of integrating the puppy into Rex's life. It was a gradual process, filled with tentative sniffs, cautious approaches, and moments of tenderness that warmed the hearts of everyone who witnessed it. As the puppy grew, it became a cherished member of their tight-knit group, bringing laughter and joy to their gatherings. The sight of Rex, the one stoic canine nuzzling the puppy, became a regular occurrence, a heartwarming testament to the bond that had formed between them. The puppy, sensing Rex's gentle nature, would often seek the dog's company, finding solace in his quiet affection. The arrival of the puppy marked a turning point for Rex, filling his days with new purpose and companionship. No longer was there a void by Daniel's side, for now there was a tiny ball of energy that needed guidance, love, and most importantly, the unwavering loyalty that only a dog like Rex could provide.